and welcome to this episode of Pastor's Library. I'm Stephen Redman, and this is the channel where we talk about all things about theological books, books that might be on a reading list for a bachelor's or master's degree, books that just simply might be on your pastor's bookshelf or the minister's bookshelf, and you may want to know, are they worth buying? We will try and help you, give you a little bit of guidance, and of course with all of these things, a book is only helpful when it's helped you. And so today I want to talk about another commentary series. And if you like what we have to say, remember to give us thumbs up, click on the bell and click subscribe, and you'll know as soon as we launch another Pastor's Library episode. So today I want to talk to you about the New Interpreter's Bible commentary, which is called the NIB. And the NIB is a little bit different because it isn't one volume on Matthew's Gospel, one volume on Mark and things like that. This is a collection of books in a volume, and all of them are written by theologians of quality. The vast majority of them are names that you may know. And for example, this Volume 1 has Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus in it, and also a little bit of overview to the beginning of the Old Testament. And this is, Genesis is written by Terence Fretheim, which was actually what made me buy the book in the first place, because I'm a real lover of Fretheim's writings. And Exodus is written by Walter Brueggemann. And the interesting thing is the two of them met on this project, and Brueggemann and Fretheim used to swap their writings for each other to comment on, and they listened to each other. And of course, they ended up doing this for the rest of Terence Fretheim's life, and they were great friends until his death, which is an interesting thing. Now, the NIB has an excellent depth in it. If you think about this one, which is sort of about 1,100 pages, and it's got 3 books of the Bible plus an interesting overview section. So you're probably talking 200, 250 pages, maybe 300 pages for some of these per book, which is only like a decent paperback. It is a very good size. And of course, remember that these books are large pages, and they're very well laid out on clean white paper, bleached paper, with a good black print. And you'll see the use of headings, and the layout is very helpful indeed. Now, like I say to you, I bought this for Fretheim's Genesis, and I liked it, and I liked the others in the series, and so I ended up buying, well, eventually I bought all of them. But like I say to you with all commentaries, don't just go out and buy a set. What you should do is, if you're studying a book like 1 Peter, get the one that's got 1 Peter in it and see if it's any helpful to you. And if it isn't helpful, don't buy any others. You know, we don't all get on with the layout of every commentary. And this is a set which I would suggest to you most people will find very inviting. It's very easy to comprehend and process. But like I say, don't just go out and get them willy-nilly. What's very helpful is, amongst the pedigree of the authors, N.T. Wright does one of the books. And there are names that dotted about that you will recognise. I suppose one thing that's really helpful from my point of view is that it includes the Apocryphal books. So if you want to know what Maccabees has to say about something, you can do that within this series. And literally having commentaries on these books is helpful because, of course, most people are writing commentaries on the canonical books, and that's what we're looking for in the main. But the Apocrypha does have something to say about the life and times of the people who wrote it, and they are books that were familiar to our New Testament writers, and just as, for example, Jude seems to quote directly from 1st Enoch, it's helpful to know that our New Testament authors were familiar with the Apocryphal books. So it is a useful aside. Now, just watch the issue of the numbering system. It appears that when it was first came out as the New Interpreter's Bible, or there was, I think, an Interpreter's Bible previously, it came out in the mid-90s, and it was a 10-volume set. I hope I'm right about this, because I could get this slightly backwards now, but I believe it was a 10-volume set, and then it was adjusted in the 2010-ish time, and it became a 12-volume set. Now, I noticed this because I got volume 10, which ended with Jude and Revelation, and I then got volume 11, which seemed to have very much the same contents. And I thought, what's going on here? And whereas these books, some of them have printed sleeves on the front, which are very attractive, over a black hardbound cover, which has New Interpreter's Bible printed on it. Some of them also seem to come with the cover directly printed onto the hardbound. So there you've got, this is my volume 10, and it seems that I can't quite put my finger on this because it doesn't seem to be when they were printed. It just seems some of the time they printed them with slip sleeves and others they haven't. But that's the type of book we're looking at. And so you see my volume 10 here has got Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, Peter, John, Jude, and Revelation. And then there's volume 11 and volume 12 after this. And of course, it's because the books are broken up differently. And it's confusing from, I think, particularly from volumes 7 and 8. And when you're buying these on a used market in particular, it's quite difficult unless you're quite clear which of these books you're getting. So I've got volumes 7 and 8, and I think of 7 and 8 as being Matthew, Mark, and Luke and John. But actually, in the other variation, they're in a different order. And so the important thing is make sure you know the contents of the book that you're buying. Don't just order it willy-nilly. Email the shop and say to them, if you're buying it online, just say to me, excuse me, what is the contents of this book? And if they won't tell you, just don't buy it because you'll probably get it wrong. But Abingdon have a great deal to offer. They're an excellent choice of commentary, and I thoroughly commend them to you. So if that's helped you, remember to give us a thumbs up, click subscribe, click on the bell, and we'll let you know next time we're on board with another Pastor's Library. God bless you. Bye.